Do you want to learn how to make these cool light up pumpkins that we used out of those ugly orange pumpkins from the Dollar Tree? Then stick around. This one's a fun one. Okay guys, let me tell you what we're going to need for this project. You're going to need one of these foam pumpkins from Dollar Tree. You're going to need one of the really hard foam blocks. It could be either white or green. You're going to need an X-Acto knife. Let me see if I can find mine. There you go. You're going to need some black glitter, some kind of flameless candle. It cannot be a real candle. Black paint. And then from Walmart, I found a ton. These are picks from Walmart. And they were, let me see what it says on the tag. I bought all that they had left because when I went for Halloween decorations, that's basically all they had. 98 cents. So whatever picks that they have from Walmart, we are going to unravel them and take them apart and put them into the foam one at a time. I got a bunch of different ones. So we can do, you know, we can mix it up a little bit. Some on one and some on the other. I do have some little mini skulls from Dollar Tree that I'm going to paint black and we're going to use in there. I have a little, glittery pumpkin. This is also from Dollar Tree. I think they came in a 4-pack. I have some more of these. These are all from Walmart. All these big long picks are from Walmart. And then I found these 2 picks from, where did I go? Hobby Lobby, Michael's. And they were like $3.50 each. Okay. So, and you're also going to need a piece of foam board, whether it's white or black. It doesn't have to be a huge piece, just big enough because we're going to try to section a part off so that we can light this guy up. Okay, so very first thing, these are hollow inside, as you can see. I did not make it hollow. That's the way they come. You cut off the top of the pumpkin, okay? First, you're going to have to pull off the stem, which is on a toothpick. So just pull it off, okay? And then you're going to have this. Make a round circle, and then make a cut in it, and in the middle, and then to the edge, and then you can scoop it out. If you want to carve a face in this guy, you can. You don't have to. It is going to be a little bit difficult because it's a kind of a small area. But that's 100% up to you if you want to do that. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is decide whether or not you want the face or not. Okay? If you do, after you're done cutting the top, then you're going to cut your face in. Whatever design you choose. After you do that, you're going to paint the entire pumpkin black and let it dry. Do not use spray paint on these foam pieces from the Dollar Tree because it will dissolve it. And your pumpkin will be ruined. So it has to be paint, acrylic paint, which they do sell at Dollar Tree. Okay, so after you do that, then we're going to stick the foam block inside the hole of the pumpkin. And how you're going to easily just take your X-Acto knife and just start carving it down. You can actually even use like a butter knife or open up your scissors carefully and just shave it down that way. All right, so once you get those things done, we'll be back. I drew a face on mine. I used a pencil, and I'm just going to use a black Sharpie and go over the line so I can see it to cut it out with my X-Acto knife better. Okay? Okay, guys, so I am doing 2. So I cut out one more vintagey looking face and one more traditional looking Halloween face. Now, if you do a more intricate pattern on this little area, like his eyeballs and his teeth, the one tooth here and this eyeball broke, but you can fix it. Don't freak out because you can plug in your hot glue gun and you can just take it off and glue it back onto the foam. But this is the trick. You have to plug in your hot glue gun, and as soon as it is hot enough to melt the glue, use it right away. Don't let it sit there and get hot, really hot, because the glue is going to be really hot that comes out of it, and it's going to just melt the foam. If you use it right away, I mean, I turned it on and let it sit for about 30 seconds, and that was it. And then I used it right away, and I pulled the trigger as hard as I could. It was hard to get it out, but it came out, and it's secure enough to keep it in place. Okay, so if you have an accident, that's what you can do. And you're going to paint over this, guy, so you're never going to know. Make sure you paint all over the white foamy crap, and on the whole outside of the pumpkin, okay? And you probably should do the inside too, because we're going to light this guy up, so we want it to be dark inside. Okay, guys, before I paint it, I'm just going to show you how to do this next step. All right, so you're going to take your little square block, and this is a 2.9 inch by 3.9 inch by 3.9 inch block of floral foam. You can get the green one too. I know they have green also. It doesn't really matter, because if we need to, we can paint this as well. So just set it on top, and then you're going to see about how big you need the hole. So you're going to just start trimming the edges. Now this stuff, let me go get a butter knife, because I'm telling you, that makes all the difference. Hold on, guys. Okay, got my knife. And I'm just going to chop down all 4 corners. Make sure that when you chop it even. This project is a little bit messy, so make sure you have a garbage can close by. How much more do you need? See, that's all you have to do. Just keep doing this. And eventually, it's going to fit in there. And if you feel like you cut it too big, or too small, sorry, then you can always take some of these pieces and stuff them back in there. I wouldn't use the real skinny pieces, but I would use the bigger pieces. All right. This stuff is tough as nails. I know they have the green one that's a lot softer, but that one is meant to be used with the softer, let me give you a quick little thingy here. Okay, so I was in floral design in high school for 3 years, and these harder foam blocks are a lot sturdier, and they're better for things that if you're not sure where you're going to take them, you're going to put them in and out multiple times, and you have picks or something like that that's on a wire or something. These are a better thing to use. Okay, now those green blocks that are like you could take your finger and push in a dent into it, those are meant to use you know, things that are need to be watered. Okay, because what you do with those blocks is you soak them in the water and the plant food, and then you would put them on your little dish that you're going to make your arrangement in, and then you would start sticking all your flowers in, and it holds the water, and that's why it's so smushy. When you go to push on it, it dents. Those they're okay to use, but if you say, I go, oh, I want this here, and I pull it out and I put it back in somewhere else, eventually the block's going to fall apart, where this is going to hold up a little bit better if you want to move things around. So that's why I would suggest getting these. I know they're quite messy, but all right, let me continue here. We almost got it. Just a little bit more here and there. We're going to have a fantastic mess to clean up. Right, can it fit in yet? You don't want to force it because this is weakened now that you've cut a face into it. So don't just sit there and try to cram this in there. And when you cut your face out, I would start with the eyes and then the nose and then go with the mouth, because the mouth is a bigger part and it's going to weaken the pumpkin. All right, it takes a little effort to do, but it's going to be worth it in the end, guys, I promise. All right, let's see. Almost. I think I'm going to start shaving it from the other side too, so it's even. Now, if you make 2 of these, you're not going to want to use the same block and just, you know, take this block and put it on top here and say, okay, it's going to fit in here, because this hole that you made in this one might be bigger than you made in this one. Okay, so make sure if you're doing 2 separate ones that you use this one for that and this one for this one. Okay, don't try to force it in to the same pumpkin. Let's see if I can turn them. Nope, just a little bit more. Nope. All right, come on, behave. Get in there. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Just don't push yours all the way down in it, because I got to get this sucker back out now. Which, if you do that, you're going to have to pry it back out with your knife so you can grab it. Okay, because don't forget, we have to paint the inside of this. And I would suggest even painting your foam piece. Okay? Okay, so here's one. I'm going to set him over there ready for painting. And I'm going to start on the next one and figure out what shape I need for this guy. And I'll be right back. I'm back and it's a new day. I got all my things painted, and now our next step is to take either regular glue or Mod Podge and find some glitter. I am going to do my pumpkins with black glitter, and I did paint 2 little skeletons, the one that you get at the Dollar Tree. They're on the little jute cord, and there's 4 of them. I painted 2 of these green, and then I'm just going to put some green glitter on these. And then I did 3 of the skulls in this purple color, and I'm going to put purple glitter on these. And then they'll be ready to stick into our arrangement, and we'll be ready to do the fun part and put it all together. And you will need some fairy lights too. So if you don't have any of those, grab some of those. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to first put all the glitter on, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when all the glitter is done, okay? Because I'm sure you don't want to watch me paint glue on and sprinkle glitter on. Everybody knows how to do that. Okay, guys, I just want to show you a quick before and after. Here's after with glitter, and here's before. Big difference, right? Okay, let me go do the other one. Okay, so everything is done with glitter now. So what I'm doing now is I'm just taking an X-Acto, and I'm taking the little skull, and I'm going right where the big bumpy part meets the flat part. But I'm taking the head of the X-Acto, and I'm just going back and forth a little bit until it bores a hole in it, right? And then I'm taking a piece of wire, and I'm sticking it inside that hole. And don't worry if the hole got a little bit too big. You're going to push the wire down as far as you can. And then you're going to take your glue, and you're going to take your hot glue gun, and you're going to put some glue right where the wire in the hole is, okay? And that should secure the wire in the skeleton head. And just grab it real quick. You might need to hold it for a second. I'm knocking everything over. You don't want a whole bunch of glue, just a little bit. Okay, right on the bottom there. You might have to hold it for a second or prop it against your pumpkin until it dries. Okay? And with the skeleton, how we're going to make him a little wire to stick him in. This is heavy duty wire here. This isn't just a thin, real thin wire. I think I told you guys to get the thicker wire. This is 22 gauge wire. Okay? You should be able to find this at Walmart or Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Okay? And what we're going to do is right on his spine, we're going to run a bead of glue right down his spine. And then we're going to try to straighten the wire out as best as we can. And we're going to place the wire right on top. And then just use your X-Acto knife to carefully push the wire in the glue. Try not to touch it too much because you might want to bend it down too at the base there. I'm just going to put another bead of hot glue right over top of the wire again. Bend it down by his butt. Like right in between his legs here, I pushed the wire down in and it made it stay on him better. So we're going to wait till that dries. We're going to do the same thing with the other skeleton and with these two skulls. And then once these dry, we should be ready to start sticking them in our pumpkins. Also, if you want to make sure that these pumpkins don't have fallout of glitter everywhere, what you can do is you can take your Mod Podge again and you can paint over your glitter with the Mod Podge. Yes, it will come on very thick and glue-like, but it does dry clear, so don't worry about that. Also, if you have like a spray adhesive, that would work too, but I would spray from far away, not real close, because you're going to end up blowing the glitter off and everywhere. All right, so let me get this all wired up, and I'll see you back when this is dried. Okay, our pumpkins are ready. I sprayed them with clear adhesive, and my skulls and my skeletons. You are going to get some of the glue to come off. You're going to get some of the glitter to come off. But for the most part, he's pretty good. You can always touch him up later once you got him on. You could just dab a little bit more. Where did my brush go? You could dab a little bit more glue on and then dab a little bit more glitter on if there's a spot that you are really that concerned with. There it is. Like there's a part on his leg that's got a pretty good amount off. You know, I could just, and part of his face there, so I can just easily take him over here and just sprinkle them up again. You're going to have to touch these guys to get the sticks in them and to glue them and all that. So some is just going to come off. It's like, look here, the paint even came off. And we'll just hide it with the glitter. That's the one good thing about glitter. It hides little mistakes like that. So we'll just dab them up a little bit in some spots. And we'll take them over here and we'll just sprinkle them down a little bit. All right. So I did take apart all of my picks. Before I started any of this, I shoved my foam pieces back in the centers of each pumpkin. And I did separate my picks into the style that I want to do. See the vintage, more vintage pumpkin, I think I'm going to do in more of a witchy black and white silver theme with some skeletons. We're going to go with this bunch for this guy. I don't know how much is going to fit in there. We'll find out in a minute once we start going. I'm going to try to get a fair amount of it in there. All right, you are going to need some kind of snips for this process. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of space. Okay. Let me slide this guy back a little bit. Let me slide you over. No. And these should go into the foam pretty good and sturdy. Okay, so I'm going to start off with some branchy things here. We're going to see where we want to put our pumpkin. I'm going to definitely have to cut this. This is going to be a bit hard to cut. All right. There we go. We want this to be in the center here, where we can see it. Maybe up a little bit. There we go. Okay, now I was thinking maybe we're going to put the hands by the pumpkin. Let's see if these wires are going to hold the pumpkin. You know what? You can also double the wire if it's not strong enough. And just fold the wire over on itself. And it'll be much sturdier. Just make sure you clamp down those end pieces so you don't get poked with them. We'll have a hand here like this. We could even use a little bit of glue to help keep the hand where we want it. For now, I'm just going to let go. And I'm just going to keep adding. Okay. I have a big spider I want to put above the, if you'll reach. Maybe we'll put them on this side. Crawling. And then we'll have another arm come out. If you don't want to glue these, you could also use some craft wire, but I don't think glue is going to hurt it any. Just so it's like that. I'm just going to use a tiny bit of glue. And I'm going to hold it for a minute. I have some bats that I want to put in there. Okay, we got one hand on. Let me glue the other one on. Just want to make it look like the skeleton hands are holding the Happy Halloween pumpkin. Like this. Just give it a couple seconds. Beautiful. All right. So let's figure out where we want our witch hat to be too. I'm trying not to touch this bottom part because it's still wet for me spraying it with the adhesive. So I'm trying to be careful about where I touch it. We're going to leave this nice and long. I'm going to kind of anchor it to the side a little bit here. Come on, behave yourself. Just like that. And then we're going to put our bats in. Turn around, sir. Okay, we got a bat here. Let's see. We could get a bat over here, maybe. I'm going to cut this guy down a bit. Okay. We got a little spider. I'm going to cut this guy down and put him down here. We have skulls. And we have these branches too. I'm going to put these in here for sure because these are really pretty. Let me see if I can get this to go over here a bit more. We want to even our design out here. We don't want all big things on one side and nothing on the other. All right, what else do we got here? We have a third skeleton hand, but I don't think I'm going to use that. We have this really pretty black kind of leafy thing. I'm going to put that way in the back and let that be pretty tall. Oh, I'm knocking everything. All right, I'll get that one when I'm done here. All right. So we got our 2 bats and we got our 2 spiders in. We can put in our skulls. And our candy corns too. We can't forget about those because this is a witch. Witches have candy for the children. So we need a candy corn in there. I want to make sure that we can see it. And these are wires, so you can, move them around, bend them around if you need to. I'm going to try to get our spider up a little bit better. All right, looking good. Now we get another skull in over here. There we go. Let's bend our hat a little bit. Sometimes you have to put these wire ones that you made with the wire. You have to grab the base of the wire and pull it, help it pull down. Or keep rearranging it until you find a real stiff spot in the foam. All right, let's put some more candy corns in there. Get out. And these long branchy things I'm just going to use for filler in the back. Maybe to help keep this thing a little bit more sturdy. So I'm going to make it really close to this piece here and push this in. That should help a little bit. And we have another one of those. We'll put on the other side. We have another branch. I want to put a couple skulls back. Maybe we could put a hand coming out of the back. I'm just going to double this wire up real short. Wrap it around. And then give it a cut. Okay. There goes that guy with all the glitter on the floor. All right. Come on. Let me see. I'm going to turn you around. If I could get some more candy corn in the back here. You can't see. There we go. We have 2 of these, but I don't think we're going to use those. All right. Maybe we can put a skeleton head down here underneath the pumpkin. Or right there. There we go. Now that looks like he has horns. I don't like that. Okay. I'm sorry if you guys can hear my crazy husband screaming. He's playing Call of Duty. I'm just trying to figure out where I want these guys. Maybe we can save some of these candy corns for the other one. Let's see what we got. We got 2 more skeletons. Let's see what we can do with them. I think we're going to fill in this little hole right here. This branch does not want to stay here. There we go. Keep spending. All right, now, hold on, let me go get some lights. Okay, guys, what I did was I just took this little piece of metal and I just poked a hole in the side and the front of my pumpkin. It is foam, so it doesn't take much. Now I'm just shoving these fairy lights inside. I was going to use one of the tea lights, but I thought, how in the heck are we going to turn that on and off? So I figured we'll just shove these in, and then we'll arrange them in there better once I get them all in there. For now, I'm just shoving them in. Once they're all in, then we can move them around a bit. But this way you can turn it on and off. Okay, and then just to cover up the little hole that you made in the pumpkin, just touch it up with a little bit of black paint and a little bit of glue and a little bit more glitter. And it will hide everything. You actually could have done this step after you painted him and you put your foam block inside. You wouldn't have been able to put your foam block inside until you put the glitter on. But after you put the glitter on, before you put all this crap in, the foam, you would have been able to put this in. The foam has to be in first before you can put these lights in, though. Because we want them to be in front of that foam block that we're stuffing all the spiders and candies and witch hat and all that crap in. Almost there. There we go. Now we're just going to turn them around. I'm going to use the same stick that I had and try to pull some of the lights over here. Just work your lights to the other side of your pumpkin. They'll go. Just, if you don't have a stick like this, you can use a pencil or whatever you have that can stick in there. And just pull them around a little bit up where you want them. There you go. It's not hard. He'll move. He's lit up. He's looking cute. Okay, so just get your black paint then. And then, if it will come out. I know I'm going to squeeze hard and it's going to shoot across the whole room. That's my life. All right, there we go. 2-second touch up, no big deal. Let's see what this guy looks like with the lights low. Let's see if we can turn this down, huh? I think he looks pretty cool. All right, so now we're on to number 2. The same exact thing. Okay? I'm not going to bore you with all the way that I put all the stuff in. I'm just going to, or actually maybe I'll stop this video and I'll start a new one with the second pumpkin and I'll just speed it up really fast so you can see me shoving all the stuff in. All right, that's what I'll do. All right, so let me get going on the next one. Guys, ready? Here comes pumpkin number 2. I am going to start off with this guy. Let's see. Okay, guys, both of these are done, and I have them on a tray, and I have parchment paper underneath, and I just globbed on the Mod Podge over top of the black glitter on the bottom because I figured that's the spot that is going to come off the most. So when this dries, and it will dry, and it will dry clear, you're going to have to give it some time, we'll be all ready to go. I am back, and I know I've been gone for a bit, and I just want to explain on where I've been and what's been going on. I've been getting really stressed out at work. My one job, I work for school, and I drive a bus, and so with COVID, my job has been up in the air. I don't know if I'm going to be driving, you know, every day, or for how many hours a day, or if I'm going to get paid, or if they're going to tell me to go on unemployment, or what's going on. And I still haven't gotten paid from employment. When we went on employment 6 months ago, I called and I talked to them, and they still haven't paid me, and I'm still waiting like an idiot for my money. And I don't know if anybody else is in the same situation as me, but still hasn't gotten paid from like 6 months ago, but it's just ridiculous. And before you know it, Christmas is going to be here, and I'm going to be forced to go back on unemployment because, you know, I highly doubt my boss is going to pay me for when the kids have off of school. So that's been stressing me out. And then I'm trying to get Christmas presents with the money that I have right now. You know, I don't have a ton of money, but, you know, I'm trying to do the best I can, and that's been stressing me out. And, you know, I'm trying to deal with my other job as well. And my driver job, like, I needed paperwork, and my boss isn't giving me the papers, and I keep telling him about it, and it's just been like stressful and everything. And I had crap going on at the other job where my manager quit and the helper quit, so it was just me and 2 other people. But the one other person has been on leave for, you know, surgery, so it's really only me and one other person. And he is an old man, so, and you're running a meat department, so you need more than 2 people. And so they sent us a assistant from another store who was really odd, and everybody in the whole store said that, you know, he was very, very weird, and he was like borderline serial killer. Just a really strange guy. And finally he left, and they sent us a new guy for manager, and he is already, like, I worked with him one day, and let me tell you, one day was plenty for me because he said some really weird stuff already that I'm just like, I don't know if I can work with this guy. And the way he works it's just not the right way. Like, he wants to leave rotten things on the shelves, you know, in the meat department. He wants to leave the rotten stuff out there. He doesn't want to do certain things that he knows he should be doing. And, like, I cannot work like that. And I'll probably end up quitting. I have been trying to find another job to replace both jobs, so I only have one job, so I can have more time with you guys and to craft. And that's been stressing me out, as well as both of the jobs and the chaos going on at the 2 jobs. And then, you know, I'm trying to shop for Christmas with, like, limited money, and that's been stressing me out because, you know, now they changed all the Black Friday sales where the sales were all just one day. And you know, now it was like Walmart and Kohl's and Target. Those are usually like my main stores where I go to shop for, you know, Christmas time. And now all the sales, instead of being one day, have been like 4 different days, but they're not 4 different days. So it's like Walmart and Target and Kohl's you can all go to on the same day on, you know, one week, and then next week, and then the next week, and then the next week. No, it's all different days. Like, and you're trying to sit there and trying to coordinate which sales are going on what day, and if you have time to get there, and what they have. And like, it's just been like, no, I can't do this right now. So, I just said, screw it, I'm just going to order everything offline because I can't do this. You know, I did order stuff from Walmart, and I just went and picked it up, just ordered it online, so I didn't have to be in the store and deal with the madness. And then I just went and picked it up. That was my first time ever doing that, so I didn't know what the hell I was doing there, or where I was going, or I went to a different Walmart that I never was at, and everything was just like, oh my God. And then it was time for Thanksgiving, and then my daughter and boyfriend came over, and we had to go shopping for dinner. And so I made a big dinner, and it was perfect. Everything came out wonderful. Everybody was having a great time, and she stayed really late. And then we opened the door, and my husky that is in the one video, Husky in her peanut butter jar, her name is Isis. Yes, I know, Isis, with the whole wackos lopping people's heads off. I know now. That's not what I named her after. I tried to name her after like Eskimo or Greek god name, but that's how she got her name. It wasn't anything to do with any of those whack jobs. But then, you know, that happened, and then people would be like, oh, what's your dog's name? And you're just like, Ugh. So we would tell them her name's Cat, because if you would say, come here, Cat, she would come. If you say, come here, dog, she would look at you like you're dumb. So we would call her Cat. But she ended up passing away, and that we didn't expect that. She was 8 years old, and she was the last of my dogs. I had 4 dogs when my husband was alive 8 years ago. He died 8 years ago, and we got her 8 years ago, ironically. And 8 years ago, I had, you know, 4 dogs. and we had them forever, and I was so used to having all these big dogs and all these dogs, and I love my dogs, and anybody that knows me knows that I took care of my dogs, and my dogs were my family, and they meant everything to me, and they were just like my children, and I treated them just like my children, and sometimes even better than my children. Like, I love these dogs, and if they needed to go to the vet, they went to the vet, and they always got all their shots, and they were always at the vet, and they were well taken care of. And you know, someday I'll tell you the story of what happened to them all. And so she was fine. She wasn't like she was sick, and she was still eating. She was drinking. She was pooping. She was peeing. She was acting normal. She wasn't acting like she didn't want to be around anybody. She was just acting her normal self. Everything was fine. It didn't give me any alarms or any cause to take her to the vet. And she just passed away. And we were not ready for this. We didn't expect it. And my dogs helped me a lot with being depressed and my depression and my anxiety. And now it's going to be a really hard time for me, and it just sucked that it happened on Thanksgiving after we were all having such a nice night, and then, you know, something shitty like that had to happen, and it just sucks. And then we had to bury her the next day, which was like, it just about killed me. So it hasn't been fun this last little bit. But I'm going to try to get in here, because now I need to be in here more than ever to get my mind off of this stuff. And so here I am, and we're going to do some more skulls today. And so what you'll need is a cardboard tube, and you can get this from any ribbon. Use up the ribbon, and they're wrapped on these tubes. It's like the tulle kind of ribbon, or you can even use a paper towel roll if it's thick enough, or a wrapping paper tube if it's sturdy enough. You're going to need one of the Dollar Tree skulls, and I painted mine black. So that means you will need black acrylic paint and some paintbrushes, and you're going to need some white paint. And then I got a clown nose, and I know right now it's not Halloween, but you can order these online at eBay, pretty cheap. And I got a clown wig, and I am probably going to take pieces off of it with a pair of scissors and probably glue it to his head. So you will need a glue gun and scissors. Let me see if I can get this darn thing open. I thought that it opened up, but I guess not. Okay. So I'm probably just going to either cut a section off, or look at that, it's just falling off. Or I'm just going to pull parts out, and because I think it's going to be probably too big like this, yeah. Way too big like that. Okay, so we're going to have to pull pieces of hair out and glue it on. So that's what we're going to do with that. So the very first thing you need to do is paint your skull black. Once that's done, make sure you have some kind of a napkin or paper towel or something that you can use to wipe off. And then we're going to dip into the white paint, and we're going to wipe off most of that white paint, and then we're going to just touch it on the top. And we're going to go very lightly over the cracks so that it doesn't, we don't want the white paint to go in the cracks on the skull. Okay, we want the black to show through, so we're just going to wipe it on and dab it off. All right, so that's our next step, is the white paint to brush it on and then dab it off. So let's get that going. All right. I know these are Halloween type projects, but I was not done with Halloween yet. I'm not ready for Christmas, and I don't like the fact that Christmas is being shoved down our throats. All right, this, I think I'm going to, you know what, I think I'm going to touch up this black paint, guys, because I see parts on this that I can see through still. So I'm going to have to do this black paint again and paint it and let it dry real quick. Just put another thin coat on, and then we'll go through to the white parts. I hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving. I know this year has been so hard, and with everything going on, and now this COVID spiking again, and I just want it all to be over with. I wish everything could go back to normal again. So all right, this has got to dry now. I'm not going to worry too much if there's like little marks on the back, because we're going to cover the head up anyway with the hair. But the face, we definitely want to be nice and filled in with the black paint, because we're going to be going over that with the white. All right, now we're going to let that dry, and then we'll be back. And you know what I did? I had a glass square, or not a glass, I had a metal square container to put my paintbrushes in with a little turpentine to keep them clean. And you know what? I didn't have it for a really long time, but I had it for, I don't know, a year, and I was using it like that, maybe 2 years. and it started to get like all rusty and crappy. So I had to throw that out. So you know what, guys? If you have something you put your paintbrushes in, probably the best thing you can put it in is glass. I know you don't maybe want to use glass in case you bump it or knock it, but I'm telling you, it's better than having to deal with that rust and all that crap. So I got rid of that. All right, so we're going to wait for this to dry, and I'll be back. I'm back, and I'm done, and I just wanted to show you how each of them turned out. I put a white poster board back there because sometimes with all this crap on the table, you can't really see what the project is because there's too much going on over here. I'm trying to figure out different spots for the things that I've already made to be relocated in, but for now, they're stuck there till I can figure out a shelf or something. But, okay, so we have this first one here, which has the witch hat in and the pumpkin with the skeleton hands holding on to it. I think this one turned out pretty cool. I like it because it's basically, you know, all black and white and silver, minus the candy corn. But I think it turned out pretty good. I'm really liking it a lot. It was super fun to make. And I love how the skull, I'm obsessed with skulls. I love how the pumpkin came out. That was easy to do. So I was glad that I was able to get the lights in there easily. And then we have this other one over here. This is more colorful, more traditional Halloween colors with the green and the orange and the black and purple. This one I like as well. I think this one's pretty cool too, with the skeletons up there and the skulls and the little pumpkin with the smiley face and the spiders. I think it turned out pretty good. So I hope you guys give it a shot because this is a great way to use those pumpkins. There's, you know, I want to try to come up with a bunch of different ideas for things like that. You wouldn't maybe normally think of doing with that thing because they are kind of, I mean, it's a Halloween decoration and I'm never going to say a Halloween decoration is horrible, but it could always be better. And I hope you make one and make yours and make it better and glitz it up and give it some glitter and some skulls and some skeletons and pumpkins and all that, some lights. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't subscribed, come on, subscribe. It's free, why not? And it really helps the channel. So, subscribe, guys. All right, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to keep continuing to make skulls and Halloween decorations. I know it's already Halloween is over, and it's very sad. It breaks my heart. I hate that, and I'm just going to keep going with it. All right, I love you guys. Bye.